Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, now here I am with another Marvel Cinematic Universe review, with a review of Avengers Age of Ultron. So, yeah, just like the first Avengers movie, this is a really great film right here. Overall, I wouldn't quite say it's quite as great as the first Avengers film. I still do like the first Avengers movie a little bit more. But yeah, still a really great film. I mean, yeah, there are definitely some things that this movie has done better than the first Avengers. Like the characters in this movie, they go through like more of a conflict in this movie than they did in the first Avengers. And and yeah, some people could make the debate on whether or not the story is better put together than in the first Avengers. There's yeah, there are some things that people could say this film has done better than the first. But yeah, overall, I do think that the first Avengers film was just a little better put together, and plus, it just felt a lot more. It just felt more epic seeing them come together for the first time. Yeah, and yeah, it just doesn't feel as epic like seeing them back together after the first time. I mean, it is still great to see like all of them back together, but yeah, I mean, just it doesn't feel quite as epic after already seeing it happen. And yeah, and yeah, so yeah, there are some things that people could say this one does better, but yeah, overall, I think that the first movie is just better put together. Yeah, just about everybody from the first Avengers is back here. Yeah, I still have all the original Avengers. Still have Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Nick Fury. Yeah, they're all, of course, back, and they're all still played by the same people. Of course, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, so, yeah, basically everybody is back for this movie, and there's also a lot of new people joining. Yeah, we have now War Machine in this one. Yeah, he wasn't in the first Avengers. Yeah. Also have the official introduction to the MCU of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. And yeah, this movie also has the introduction of Vision into the MCU. Yeah, and and Falcon, he's back here, but he only like makes a small appearance at the end of the movie. Yeah, and of course have characters from on like the other previous films appearing in this movie also. Still have there's Dr. Selvig, there's Heimdall, and yeah, there's Baron Strucker. And yeah, so yeah, there are also people that have appeared in the previous MCU films, that also make appearances in this movie. So yeah, so it still basically has everybody from the first Avengers and more. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, the movie is still really well put together, but I just feel like the first Avengers was just a little bit better put together. And plus, it just felt more epic seeing them come together, like I said. Then, yeah, it just really doesn't feel quite as epic seeing them back together after we've already seen it happen. But yeah, it is still like a really great film. I give this film 3.75 stars out of 4. Yeah, I mean, just a really great film. Um, yeah, yeah, I really like how this film immediately starts with all of them just right back together. I mean, they don't bother to just like go through the thing of like just just merging them back together and just getting them back with each other. I mean, it this movie just immediately jumps into it, and we already see them all together back as the Avengers. So yeah, I like how they just really he cut right to the chase in this film. And yeah, like I said, movie has a lot of conflict in it. Like we see, like the Avengers feel that they've caused a lot of destruction, and we also have a connection of Bruce and Natasha in this movie. They like have an attraction to each other. Yeah, and we and yeah, like I said, have Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch here, and yeah, they are siding with Ultron at the start and eventually turn on him. So yeah, the movie definitely does have a lot of conflicts to it, and yeah, I think they all work really well. And just yeah, this movie's just yeah, like I said, just really well put together, and yeah, just yeah, it's basically what was like really great about the first Avengers, but yeah, as I've said, just it's just not I don't think as well put together as the first Avengers, and yeah, it's just not as epic as the first one. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, let me just get right into it. Alright, so the movie starts off in the country of Sokovia, where the Avengers are raiding the Hydra facility for to capture Baron Strucker, and turns out he's using Loki's scepter to experiment on humans. And they eventually encounter the Maximoff twins, Pietro and Wanda, aka Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. And you know, Quicksilver's power is he has superhuman speed, and Scarlet Witch's power is she's able to manipulate minds and project energy. And they eventually capture Strucker, and Tony is able to retrieve Loki's scepter. And Tony and Bruce are studying the scepter. They then see that the gem actually contains an artificial intelligence, and in turn, Tony ends up using it to actually complete his Ultron project for a global defense program. And then Ultron then comes to life later on, and he feels that he has to eradicate humanity from the Earth. And yeah, he ends up taking out Jarvis, and he ends up attacking the Avengers in their headquarters. And also during this, like all the Avengers just like were acting with each other, and they were like trying to see if anybody could actually lift up Thor's hammer, which was kind of funny. And yeah, as I said, Ultron ends up attacking the Avengers, and he ends up escaping with Loki's scepter. Then everybody is blaming Tony for everything that Ultron just did. And Ultron eventually arrives back at the Sokovia base, and he tries to build an army of robot drones, and he ends up recruiting Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch after killing Strucker. And yeah, and Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are actually blaming Tony for the death of their parents due to his weapons. And they end up going to a Lucis Claw's base to get some vibranium. Yeah. And eventually the Avengers arrive, and they attack Ultron and Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, but Scarlet Witch ends up using her powers on them, and and most of them end up being haunted and subdued with their visions, including Bruce Banner. And then, yeah, he ends up forming the Hulk and starts rampaging around the city. But then Iron Man comes and he he tries to stop the Hulk up with his with his big Hulk Buster armor, which looked really awesome. And yeah, had the fight between Hulk and Iron Man, and yeah, this fight was awesome. This was like my favorite part when I saw this in the theaters, and I think this still is my favorite part of the movie. I mean, this was just an awesome fight, and it was also hilarious with all of Tony's one-liners in this scene. He like, "Dick move," and "Come on, work with me," and "I'm sorry." Yeah, just his one-liners were just awesome for this part. Yeah, and then Iron Man eventually ends up of stopping the Hulk after they like just end up blasting down a building and end up destroying it. Yeah. Yeah, and after all of the destruction that they caused, they end up receiving backlash worldwide. And, and yeah, they end up like hiding out in a safe house where they actually stay with Hawkeye's family. And Thor ends up trying to uh, talk with Dr. Selvig about of the future and the meaning of what he saw in his hallucination from Scarlet Witch. And eventually Nick Fury ends up arriving, and yeah, he convinces the team to try to come up with a plan to stop Ultron. And later on, Ultron end up forcing Dr. Cho, who was a friend of the Avengers, and he ended up forcing her to use her technology with the vibranium and the gem and the scepter to try to get him a new body. And as he's trying to get his new body, Scarlet Witch then discovered what Ultron's plans really were about human extinction, and then Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver ended up turning on Ultron. And Captain America, Hawkeye, and Black Widow eventually arrived, and they tried to fight off Ultron. And they ended up retrieving the body, but Ultron also ended up capturing Black Widow. And eventually Tony ended up re-uploading Jarvis. And then Thor also helped him to activate the body. And it turned out that the gem was actually part of Thor's vision, and the gem was actually from one of the Infinity Stones. And then it ended up bringing Vision to life. And then Vision, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch teamed up with the Avengers to try to stop Ultron. And Ultron then turned out to build a machine that was actually he'd be able to lift a big part of the city and cause it to crash into the ground, and then result in global extinction. And in the process, Bruce also ended up rescuing Black Widow, And she caused Bruce to transform back into the Hulk to fight. And as the Avengers were doing battle with Ultron's army, a helicarrier then arrived with Nick Fury, Maria Hill, Rhodes, and other S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. And Quicksilver ended up sacrificing himself by shielding Hawkeye from gunfire. And he ended up dying, and then it caused Scarlet Witch to just destroy the primary body for Ultron, on which then enabled one of Ultron's droids to activate his machine. And as the city was starting to plummet, that Iron Man and Thor ended up overloading the machine, and it ended up just shattering the landmass. And Hulk also ended up leaving because he didn't want to endanger Black Widow by being with her. And then it showed Vision then going face to face with the last Ultron body. Vision just said that he was born yesterday, and then somehow, as Ultron was coming toward Vision, it's like Vision just ended up disappearing or evaporating or something, and both him and Ultron were then gone. And then it showed that there was a new Avengers base that was now being run by Nick Fury, Maria, Dr. Cho, and Dr. Selvig. And Thor also ended up leaving for Asgard in order to learn more about some suspects he thinks that may actually be manipulating the events. And it also showed Hawkeye retiring from the Avengers. And as Tony was leaving then, and Captain America and Black Widow were preparing to now train some new Avengers, which were Rhodes, Vision, Falcon, and Scarlet Witch. And then then movie just then cut to credits, and during the credits then it then showed Thanos. And he wasn't happy about his pawn failures. And then it just showed him vowing to retrieve the Infinity Stones by himself. And then that's how it ended. I mean, there was nothing after the credits here. So this was like the first Avengers movie, MCU movie, to actually end with nothing after the credits. So that was interesting. So like I said, 3.75 stars out of 4. While it is the first Avengers. I do think is a little bit better than this. This is still a really, really, really great movie, and I really did enjoy it. And so the next Avengers movie isn't in set for release for another couple years, and the next Avengers movie is actually in 2 parts: Avengers: Infinity War. The first part isn't set for release for another couple years until May 2018, and the second part isn't set for release till a year after that. And there are a couple of films in between this, so it'll be interesting to see how they do this 2-part Avengers movie. So we'll just see how that goes, because because after the first part of this Avengers Infinity War movie, they have the next Ant-Man movie and then Captain Marvel. So it'll be interesting to see how they end up doing this 2-part Avengers movie. I mean, this will be really interesting to see. Alright, so anyway, Alright, so that does it for my review of Avengers Age of Ultron. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.